done it from the um, this one that's already kind of up there. So I assume it should be the same. Yeah. Let me refresh.
Hello everyone and welcome to the FPL Armband. I'm Chris. Kieran is here as usual. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello. Yep, not too bad, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm alright. Ready for game week 2. Chit chat about that tonight. Talking points from game week 1, obviously. Your juicy mighty score. And
could have been better if I just captained the right player, but
I know. But we go again. Shall we start there? Do you want to talk about your team, that no Haaland team?
Yeah, so I did end up going with that route, with the no Haaland route. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it in the end. Got 79 points. Gaming rank of 380k, so
Nice.
obviously that's where I am overall, which is obviously a decent start. So pretty much full clean sheets at the back, with Trent on 8, Saliba on 6, Hall on 5, got a yellow card unfortunately. Obviously a little bit lucky to keep the clean sheet, but it did come off around the 70ish mark, which is obviously good for clean sheets.
Yeah.
Pedro Porro should really not be conceding to Leicester. They looked terrible. So should have probably got like a 13 point or 12 point or something like that. But yeah, 9 points will do. Went with Jota, went with Salah, went with Bruno. Bruno in the end, disappointing, but should have hauled as well. Unlucky. And then Saka as well in the midfield. Proving to be good points there too. And then just went for the wrong captain in Isak. Unfortunate. And Solanke up top, kind of a bit unlucky. He probably got a bit crowded out most of the time. I think he just got marked a lot there. So I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't really continue and hopefully gets more chances. But other than that, Barco not showing up, which is a bit of a concern. And then Jefferson, my third sort of fodder on the bench, did get some minutes, which is quite nice to see. All looking good for next week, other than Porro, but I think he'll probably be fine.
Yeah, Barco might get sold as well, I heard.
I think it's supposed to be a loan, but
is it?
Interesting.
It is. I don't know. I thought about Isak as well. Like, we were so set on it. Like, all pre-season, Isak captain seemed obvious, and perhaps it would have been better if they hadn't got someone sent off. But Salah away at a promoted side and Saka against Wolves, who had looked poor in pre-season as well. I don't know. Difficult.
Yeah,
easy in hindsight, but it was difficult.
Home team.
Yeah.
Another promoted team like Newcastle have been looking good. Like, it did make sense to me anyway.
Yeah, it did. All right. Similar really. Apart from Salah for Haaland and no Jota. So maybe that's our main differences actually. So Saliba and Porro, like everyone else. Haaland, Isak, Solanke up front in midfield. I've got Smith Rowe, Saka, Eze and Fernandes. Like you, I felt a bit disappointed with Bruno missing those 2 big chances. Eze looked like he was at the centre of everything and had that goal ruled out, and I think he hit the post another time. So I think he was a bit unlucky to blank. And obviously Konza is just like, I don't know, a shocker really. Because I watched the game. He seemed to be doing quite well. Because when you own a player, he seemed to be doing fairly okay first half. Like, he's so close to connecting with a cross for like a Trent assist, his goal, and then he got subbed at half time. And
I didn't really see it coming.
I thought Slot was quite harsh on him afterwards as well, saying he was losing too many balls, but I didn't think he was too bad. Anyway, it seems like a lot of people have rushed to get rid of him because he's dropping in price, but there's no guarantee he's even out of the team. Like, moving forward, he still started ahead of Konate all pre-season and that first game. So there's no guarantee there, and I think it's quite strange that people have, not got enough backup if he is out really. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to this week. Obviously, it was painful not having Salah or any Liverpool attack, which is basically where the first game week went. So we'll see if Haaland can bring the balance. But I think this is going to happen all season, like the Liverpool v City captaincy, and what you can do with the rest of it. So no, I quite like it. It's made the season a bit more varied for sure.
Mm. Yeah, you'll probably end up getting those points back this week and maybe more.
I don't know. I hope so, because Ipswich did look poor second half. They started well and then they just got leggy, and Liverpool created loads of chances in that second half. And really, Trent could have got like a couple of assists for that Jota chance. He's like my biggest. I need him. Like Salah, I feel like can be covered by Saka almost for quite a lot less. But not having Trent is looking like a bit of an oversight, really, because he just looks so creative. Maybe that was partly due to Ipswich, but yeah, he looked good.
He'll get a lot of chances against Brentford for sure as well.
I think he will. All right, well, let's start with the preview, talking about a few matches. Do you want to? We talked about City and Haaland. I think he's probably the biggest talking point because it looks like it could be a big win, but nothing's ever certain in football.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll ask you a question first.
Yeah.
Triple captain, are you considering it?
I was reading quite a lot of analysis actually of expected points essentially, and I think this is the biggest expected points Haaland will get all season because he's playing that team that got. Well, maybe it should be Southampton actually, but for some reason it's Ipswich. But basically one of the worst promoted sides at home against the best team. So his expected points for this weekend is probably as high as it's going to be all season. We obviously think we're only going to get 2 double game weeks this season because of all the FA Cup thing, of FA Cup rearrangements. So people have floated the idea that in the double game weeks you might play your free hit, you might play your bench boost, and maybe you'd want to use your triple captain in a single game week. Personally, I probably don't think it's too early for me to use it because I don't feel there's enough data there about how good City are, how bad Ipswich are, and I don't know. I just feel like it might be a bit of a waste.
Will go for it, though.
People will go for it.
Yeah, I think they will. Like it's early when there's no Champions League rotation to worry about, like because there's like 8 group stage games for that as well now, so there's like even more games to play in that. So he's injury free right now. No worries with him not playing 90 minutes. And yeah, like I said, so he got 17 touches versus Chelsea, which is obviously very poor, but still got a
quite
goal.
A lot for Haaland.
Well, yeah, maybe. He got 2 shots on target, 1 goal. The other one was pretty good save by Sanchez as well. So he had 0.28 xG or so. I mean, that's okay after obviously a small sample size, but so going on like sort of the defensive numbers from Ipswich, which is the most worrying thing, is like a non-Haaland owner. 18 shots conceded in 1 game, which is that's the 19th of all teams. Again, obviously, this is against Liverpool, so this is going to be a little bit higher than probably average. But 6 big chances conceded as well, which was 20th of all teams, and then a 2.68 xGC conceded, which is 20th of all teams as well. So you'd probably think, City attack is probably just slightly ahead of Liverpool's in general. You'd think so. I've got to have the biggest sofa in the world to hide behind, I think, for this game. Like, I will probably be not watching it. Hopefully, it's like a 3:00 game.
It is.
Not watching. Turn off the notifications for that, and hopefully I can come out the other side with maybe I'm just getting 1 or something, and that would be fine.
Yeah.
I can just deal with that. So
I was the exact same for the Liverpool game. I think that's what it's going to be like when you don't own the other one. I was thinking about I'm going to need the big sofa for Salah, and to be honest, first half he was like pretty quiet, and they restricted him, and then as soon as they, stepped off a little bit in the second half, he just punished them, and he was brutal. So yeah, maybe it'll be the same here. I hope.
Yeah, they just seemed to hit a wall at half time. I don't really know what happened. They just or Liverpool just stepped it up, I guess, on a slot, just ripped into them at half time, I guess, and made those chances, probably ripped into Quansah, and everyone else was probably a bit scared. And then they just went out and got the easy win, I guess, in the end. But yeah, City defensive wise, I think they were a little bit fortunate to keep a clean sheet against Chelsea due to sort of Jackson's incompetence of just not staying on side when he can see that all of the defenders down the line. Really poor from him. But Gvardiol, 6 million, 32% owned. Now, he wasn't very attacking basically at all. not sure. Remains to be seen if Walker comes back in for the next game or Lewis. I guess people are looking at Lewis. But yeah, if Walker comes back in, then maybe Vardiol gets back to that attacking role. But at the moment, if Lewis is starting, then it looks like Vardiol's going to be further behind.
Further back,
you're sort of saying as sort of a back three at times. Yeah, but he did get one shot blocked, which is obviously nothing. Yeah, early days didn't. So he's probably not worth the money at the moment if he's not going to be attacking. But like I said, early days. Hopefully that changes. Walker's not going to stay benched all season. Yeah. So Ipswich themselves, they had a 0.4 xG and got 7 shots in. So, that's not bad. So, the defense against City, yeah, they could do something. It'd be nice if they take a clean sheet away from Vardiol. That would be good, and Edison owners and stuff like that. So I thought they were lucky last week. So there's 6 points that they shouldn't have got, I think.
Yeah, they had some good chances in the first half against Liverpool. They created some moments and maybe threatened a few times. So I feel like they're gonna have a chance on the break. But yeah, I think it seems unlikely they're gonna score this weekend.
Yeah, I'll just mention that the one big chance that they did get was from that Greaves, the 4-0 centre back, 0.7% owned, and he's super tall, and that's where he got his header from, which was probably about 8 yards out, something like that, and just straight at Alisson, unfortunately. So I think he'll probably provide a route of goals for set pieces for them if he should be nailed on. So I think 4-0, if you're looking for a Barker replacement and stuff like that. He seems like he could be a decent option. Yeah, and
their fixtures are mixed, and they're going to be quite fairly strong at home. So for 4.0, he did look like he had a decent goal threat. I think he seems like a good option as well, really.
Sleeper 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Gabriel 2.0.
So you've got. I mean, we'll probably talk more in depth about transfer plans a bit later, but Gundogan's coming back to City, which is quite exciting for them, because he returns as been such an important player for them in the past, and from an FPL point of view, we know that he's a proven asset in the past that's done well. So it's not was it Silvino? Is that right? Savio, who came in and almost a bit like Doku as well, who had there last season as well. At least we've got a bit of a guarantee with Gundogan, which is kind of good, but I doubt he'll be signed and ready involved this weekend. But I kind of think that sort of thing gives him a bit of a lift as well.
I'm unsure if he'll be locked into play. There is Rodri, there is Kovacic. I don't think he's going to be playing 100% every week. That's for sure.
No, I don't think so either.
But he could be an option. But maybe just in the games, kind of like what Mahrez used to be, when there's games that you're just you're sure he's going to start, and then if he plays in that sort of attacking sort of 8/10 role, then he could be really good. I think he'll probably come in around 7.5 million. I think that seems fair for him.
I think that could be good. All right, should we move on and talk about Liverpool?
Sure.
Actually, maybe just before we get into this, I wanted to talk about bonus points a little bit, because it's something that has been highlighted a bit over the weekend. We'll talk about the changes. I don't know what you thought about or noticed it much, but there were some interesting notes from Baker FPL on X, who does the Above Average FPL podcast, and he'd done some analysis of both how the defenders and forwards have been affected, and I just wanted to take some of his information and share it, just because I thought it was quite interesting. So this weekend gone, there were 6 clean sheets compared to 4 in game week 1 of last year. So you'd think based on that there'd be more bonus for defenders, but there wasn't. There was 24 bonus awarded to defenders last season, and this season there was only 12 from 6 clean sheets, and no defender this weekend got max bonus. And
it looked like Trent was going to get it, but it obviously got changed later on.
And he had, and I would say as well, from looking at, I did a few numbers which I'll read out now actually, just before we go on to that bit. He actually had 3 key passes and 2 big chances created, which was more. I appreciate Salah got 2 returns as well, so obviously that favoured it. But typically, a defender getting that higher return would help, and it was probably most noticeable in Porro. Last season, if Porro had scored a goal and they'd drawn 1-1, absolutely no question that he would have got 3 bonus, and he just squeaked 1 bonus. I think with 5 minutes to go of the game, he was on no bonus, and then he came back into it. So, and then in that game in particular, a midfielder who I think I'm right in saying that he didn't get any attacking involvement. Let me just see if I can remind myself.
Say, yeah, who did get 3?
Oh no, oh no, sorry, it was Fatwa. I've got him on the screen now. So he got 3, and all he got was one assist for the VAR, and it was like ball recoveries and shots. So there was a huge change in that. And on forwards, this is where people were saying it, or Baker said in his stats here, this is the main thing to think about. It really isn't 4 points for a goal anymore, because 8 strikers scored this week, so none of them braced, and every single one of them that scored got 5 bonus. 5 of them got top bonus, and that was 20 bonus from 8 goals. So each goal effectively was worth 2.5 points, which, bodes even better for Haaland this weekend. But the one to like highlight, which I thought was quite interesting, was Solanke, who obviously, as you and I know, blanked this weekend. He got like a baseline bonus of 17 for not doing anything and missed out on. I'll see if I can bring it up on screen now. Missed out on bonus by, probably about 10 points. But any goal, and he's absolutely getting max bonus, even if it had ended 1-1. So I think that something that definitely we need to consider this season is maybe 3-4-3 or 3-5-2, just to get as many goal scorers in the team, or maybe even forwards, because like the amount you're scoring for 1 goal seems to be now roughly 6 rather than 4.
I need to get rid of my fodder ASAP then, basically.
Well, I think it seems like it's going to be a better way to generate points, is what they're saying after 1 game week, and maybe it'll be true, but after 2. But yeah, if any striker goal is now essentially going to be worth roughly 6, which I think is quite a big change. Anyway, so yeah, something to flag up really. All right, let's move on and just talk about Liverpool game, like I mentioned. So they had the 6 big chances at the weekend, like you already mentioned, really. That was the most of all teams. They got expected goals this weekend of 3.3 against Brentford. So that's the second highest, I think, after City, or on something like 3.5 or 3.6. So both of them are high this weekend. Brentford, I think they did okay this past weekend. They had 1.1 expected goals conceded. So they kept, like, in brackets, a good Crystal Palace team fairly restricted. They only conceded 1 big chance, and that was from 14 shots. So that was either Palace shooting from poor places or being made to shoot from poor places.
I feel like Flecken looked shaky when I did watch it, but yeah, the eye test defensively, I think they looked a bit dodgy.
Yeah. I think the fact that he made so many saves sort of aligns with the fact that, they were suspect in defence, but he was able to bail them out. All the shots were of poor quality, and I don't think that'll happen against Liverpool. I think Liverpool will punish them. They've got expected goals conceded of 0.9 against Liverpool, so you would expect, based on that, there's a good chance Liverpool are going to keep a clean sheet and win by at least 2 or 3 goals, which, I think is fair and still worrying as a non-Liverpool owner of anyone, really. I think it's, I don't know what's happened to me to totally swerve Liverpool. But anyway, that's how it is. So on Trent, he definitely passed the eye test in the second half. 3 key passes, 2 big chances created, and just 8 points. And that 8.2 expected points was the highest return of all defenders in game week 1. But he's way down on ownership and on transfers in this week. I'm worried about he's going to get some price rises, because I think the earliest I can own Trent, or earliest I will own Trent, will be game week 4, when they've got back-to-back games against Forest and Bournemouth, maybe. I'm going to double check. So that's the earliest time I think I can get on some Liverpool players, and it gives me 3 weeks to evaluate who looks like the picks there. Salah, obviously higher scoring mid after game week 1. 4 shots on the box was his second most of all mids in game week 1. I think it was Mitoma who had more than him. What did you think of like the Liverpool game? Obviously you're sat on triple Liverpool, and they've got a decent fixture this week. They've got that Man United game, and then they continue to have decent fixtures up until game week 8. I suppose this kind of puts off the early wildcard, or is there any chance that Haaland and City sort of scare you into changing your thinking?
There's obviously many chances of that happening, but I thought they looked fairly average in the first half, and then they just stepped it up. So if they can, step it up on a whim like that at half times, and then there's a good reason or a good suspicion that they're going to keep scoring points. And Jota looked good. He missed that one really big chance as well. So there was nearly more points for him, nearly more points for Trent, because that would have been an assist too. So I'm happy with the triple up for now. yeah, I think it's probably going to be a clear Salah captain for you this week
Yeah.
because he's going to play the 90 minutes. Like I'd be tempted by Jota, but yeah, he's not going to play the 90 minutes, is he? So
No.
Salah, I think, is the only option I have there.
No, I think it looks good. And on the Brentford side of things, like I mentioned to you on Sunday when they played, like if we knew the whole preseason that Tony was definitely leaving, I think Mwembo would have been such a pick. He's owned by less than 5%. We know last season he's clinical, he's good for goals and assists, and he's good for bonus points as well. He had 3 key passes, 1 big chance created, 1 shot, 1 goal. Obviously, we'll be on penalties, and Brentford have got some fantastic fixtures coming up
Game week 6.
Yeah, game week 6. I think you would like mention it or due to mention it as well, but yeah, their fixtures game week 6. They got West Ham, Wolves back to back at home. They got an away game against Man United, but then it's Ipswich, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, Leicester. So basically, from 6 until 13, they've got, let's say, one fairly game on paper, and yeah, Mwembo and Wissa both look good. Actually, those two are another good highlight of the bonus points. So Wissa had 2 shots in the box, 1 key pass, didn't create any big chances, had 47 baseline bonus and got all bonus, whereas Mwembo got 3 key passes and 1 big chance created and only got the 2. So again, it does seem like there's just, obviously we're going to have more examples, but definitely in this first weekend it's shown such a weighting towards strikers on bonus, which is good. We asked strikers to get better.
Didn't you say he only had 2 shots, right?
Who, Mwembo?
No, Wissa.
Yeah, 2.
So
2.
like, where's he getting that 47? Because I thought it was from, you were getting more bonus points accumulation from like shots on target and stuff like that. So like, where is he getting all that stuff,
no idea.
baseline from?
No idea.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know enough about all the metrics that combine to make bonus, but you're right. And we basically were told when the changes came out that it was going to be based on shots on target. I'm just trying to have a look. Yeah, he had two shots, both in the box. 1 big chance is a high XG for his goal, obviously, and yeah, he scooped. He didn't, from a creative point of view, he had 0.01 XA. So yeah, he was definitely differed to Mwembo.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
All right. So yeah, pretty much wraps it up on the Liverpool Brentford chat. I expect it to be an easy Liverpool win.
Yeah, I think just on those Brentford guys, I think it's just going to be, everyone's probably going to see that fixture swing and get on it. So
yeah,
I don't know if you want to go maybe a bit earlier, but then the fixtures earlier are rough as boots. So there's Spurs away could be a decent time to go on it. Yeah. Game week 5, 1 week early. But before that, like there's Man City in 4, and then obviously this week is Liverpool away, which doesn't sound great, but I could see them scoring this week. They certainly could. Southampton in 3 sounds pretty good though at home. Yeah,
I think it'll be a good test for Liverpool because Brentford have typically been like quite a decent mid-table side, and they've been difficult for Liverpool before. Like, I think
they've been difficult for City as well.
Yeah, I think they know how to play against big teams, and when they get into like the sort of areas that Ipswich were getting into, they'll have a bit more quality. Whether that means any goals or not, I don't know, but they're definitely like a decent side. That Spurs game could actually be such a sleeper. Like, Spurs were so bad defensively the other night in the second half. Yeah. And like, people will probably look at that like I did initially and think that's not a good fixture, but wrong. I feel like they would be good in away against Spurs in that game. So yeah, maybe even from game week 5.
I think they're almost just as good as each other, those two teams, weirdly. Yeah, Spurs and Brentford. Yeah, okay, so let's move on to Villa Arsenal this week. Yeah, in my current draft that I sent you, I've got Saliba benched, which I think is obviously a bit of a luxury. But I think I will actually end up switching that and playing Saliba, and then benching Hall, I think, because Shah, red card, like their defense is a little bit depleted. But anyway, so Arsenal, So what am I going to say? Arsenal was expected for the top, as expected, basically for the XGC numbers, they were top at 0.4. They were only slightly beaten by Southampton on 0.3. That's because of that red card, and basically Newcastle barely attacked. So can they keep a clean sheet against Villa? Like, obviously best numbers already in the first game week. I think it's risky, obviously, but I wasn't overly impressed with Villa. Like, yeah, their game, despite the win, like I didn't think they looked particularly good. They got a 1.88 XG, which is pretty good with four teams. 15 shots was fourth, and 4 big chances created, which is joint second. So the numbers do say that they were quite good, but eye test wise, I wasn't impressed. And then
their expected goals conceded was high on Villa. I just had a look. 2.4 expected goals conceded against West Ham.
That's huge. So Arsenal worst. Attackers. I'm happy to own Saka this week for sure. Obviously Villa went on such a huge run at home, didn't they, last year, just winning basically every game. Yeah. So maybe that's a big difference, but I guess we'll see coming this weekend. Just on Watkins as well, 9 million, 34% owned when I wrote the notes. Terrible day at the office at him. I got a bad day, but it was actually a terrible day. Like his no preseason minutes, it showed 0.00 XG, 0.00 XA, 0.00 XGI, 0 shots, 0 big chances, 0 key passes. Like he didn't register on the board at all. Like he did literally nothing. He jogged around the London Stadium for 62 minutes, and just may as well have been a ghost.
It's funny, so not funny that he's been given that extra time off, and maybe it'll come back to be good. But yeah, it was a bit strange.
Well, we hope so, obviously. But just on the signs of that, he was nowhere near, nothing at all. I think if you owned him or started with him, it's obviously a little bit too early to get nervous about him. If you own him, you definitely keep him. So the game week 3 to 9 run is obviously amazing. He's got Leicester, Everton, Wolves, Ipswich, Man United, Fulham, and Bournemouth. That's just as good as the Brentford one, as you mentioned earlier. So that run looks insane. A lot of people are going to look at him. So let's see if he can start to pick up some form. But hopefully not, because I've got Saliba. So
it was close last season between these two. The managers haven't changed. Didn't Villa win both? Yeah. Didn't they?
I know they won one, but I can't remember what the other one was.
I feel like they won both with clean sheets as well.
Maybe.
I think so. Anyway, I think it's going to be a close game. For what it's worth, I'm probably going to start Saliba over Konsa and Quansah.
Yes, fair. I think you probably have to with Quansah. Yeah. Maybe not have to, but
it's not worth a 1 point sub, I don't think, when Saliba could score.
Yes. Yeah. So Havertz, I want to mention.
Oh yeah.
So I was obviously pretty big on him pretty much all of preseason. I really wanted to start with him. And anyone who did has obviously got rewarded. 12 points, joint top forward for points so far. Obviously one game, but played the 90 minutes. Jesus come on, as I said, over these last few preseasons, Jesus came on. He stays on the pitch. Full set of subs happened, and that, again, he stayed on the pitch when Jesus came on and stuff. So, he's 100% nailed, it seems like. He got, obviously, 100% goal involvement with the goal and assist as well. Yep. Same as Saka. 0.45 XG, 5 shots versus joint first of all forwards. So, I've just got down here, what is there not to like about him, honestly? A couple of seasons ago when Jesus came to Arsenal and he was the first choice striker and he was 8 million, everyone wanted him. He was in most teams. I think we should start to be looking at him as the player that we should be looking to get as a double up for Arsenal attackers. With someone like Solanke, you could move on from him, possibly if you can get the 5.5 up to Havertz.
Or with strikers getting Isak, maybe.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and with strikers getting loads of bonuses, as you said, and loads of points, he's doing the things, he's doing the goals. So. I think he'll probably do well this weekend as well. Same as Saka. I'm excited. They just look like a great team.
I know. I feel like we've got some actual genuine centre forward options at big teams because their prices are low. Like Solanke now at Spurs, Havertz obviously at Arsenal, and Jota, even though being class of midfielder at the moment, all three are playing centre forward, and our first choice and are a good price. And again, to reiterate the point about the bonus. Saka, obviously 1 goal, 1 assist, and 1 big chance created. Havertz, 1 goal, 1 assist, no big chances created, and Havertz got all 3 bonus points and had 6 more baseline bonus. So, I think obviously he doesn't have the penalties over Saka, but if he's still going to be getting that extra point for Yeah, the goal. He's definitely worth considering this season. I
Do
think.
you think they've done that as well, just to like level it up between midfielders because they get
Definitely.
the extra point for a clean sheet?
Definitely.
Yeah,
They must have. They must have.
yeah,
Like we definitely well, I've complained that strikers like their worth isn't as good as midfields for ages. I
yep.
think everyone's felt like that's why ball recoveries would like annihilate the strikers as well. So now it feels like the bonus on forwards is great. Like again with Vardy the other night, barely did anything in the game apart from his goal. Obviously, like Pero got one, but Pero was way more involved, more key passes, and Vardy got 2 bonus. Missed a big chance as well, which would normally be a big penalised point. So yeah, it's really interesting. The more you look at each of the games at the game week, you sort of think about how there is extra.
Yeah,
points
I think we need to react rather than being too late on it, to be
Yeah.
honest, and just start to. Yeah, I think you've already got 3 decent strikers in there, but like well, once I've got a couple transfers locked in, then yeah, maybe looking that way. Yeah.
Need a third one. Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting how that's happened. It'll definitely change the way the points come in.
Yep.
All right, is there any more to add on the Arsenal fixture?
No, honestly.
No, okay.
Yeah. I'm a bit shocked that Alex Moreno has gone to Forest, which I think is interesting.
right.
So, obviously he was a little bit behind Digne and Maatsen, I suppose. But yeah, so that's just another one that's gone to another team. And then Maatsen, I just waiting for him to get starts ahead of Digne, which he should, and then he's going to be like a good option, I think.
Yeah, definitely. No, I like him. He looks like he probably will be first choice quite easily. All right. I'll talk briefly about. I was trying to choose which game to talk about, and I think Man United Brighton's probably the best one of players who've got interesting assets. Basically, so both teams kept a clean sheet in game week 1. Both look far more sturdy than they did last season. I think it's Robot FPL. He shows the market odds basically for upcoming game weeks, and they've basically had Man United and Brighton both having 1.6 goals this weekend. So it's it's not going to be high scoring, but I think there's definitely players to talk about. So I think there's quite a lot of change happening in Brighton's forward line. They've made a few signings, but I think Matoma and Minty to an extent as well look really hot this season. Minty looked great before he got subbed, and had been doing well in pre-season. I just mention Matoma because he's so he's not really been talked about. And you think
no, he hasn't, has he?
Pre-season, everyone was talking about Nkuku at 6.5 million, but he's such a risk. Like when Matoma's been in the league, he has been good. So he's been in the 2 seasons now, and I think in that time he's got, I think it's like 26 returns over 2 seasons. He basically gets a return every other game. So under basically 2 different managers, a third one now, he got 8 points this game week. He had 4 shots in the box, 2 big chances. I think
1.97 xG as well.
Yeah, it was high, and he played. Yeah, from what I saw of it, he played really well. He didn't get any bonus because he's not an attacker, but he obviously got his clean sheet and his goals. But he's never been in that 6.5 million discussion. People have got Nkuku and worried about starts. I don't think you have to worry about starts for Matoma, and he's proven. The fixtures are still a bit mixed for Brighton though, because they've got Arsenal away after this game week, which is unlikely to yield much, but then back to back at home they got Ipswich and Forest in 4 and 5, and then Chelsea away and Spurs at home. All good fixtures, I think.
Yep, we've got someone like we've both got Bruno. I've got Jota. Those 2 are both looking like prime candidates to go down to someone like Matoma.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's strange because no one talked about him, as you said, and he's nailed on. He's basically one of the only players in that team to be nailed on, other than maybe Duncan Van Heck, and they're not even I was going to say the goalkeeper, not even the goalkeeper is. So yeah, well, what's not to like again? Like Minte should be locked in, but no, he doesn't really have any challenge to that left mid role at all.
Not really. No,
left forward.
I think they're trying to sign some players, obviously, to come in there. Maybe when March is back, but they've got such a huge list of players in their midfield role. But yeah, Matoma's by far and away clear left wing choice, and less than 5% ownership. I know, already trying to think about future planning, but Brentford in game week 6 and Brighton in game week 4, there's definitely some better players to have there if Bruno or Eze or 6.5 in Cuckoo aren't performing. And then just on Bruno, just to talk about him, 8.3 expected points was the second highest of all players in game week 1. I think that was highest after Matoma. So he should have done a lot better. Missed those two big chances.
Frustrating.
Yeah, and then United have still got some decent fixtures, but let's see how he goes in the next couple of weeks. He's highly owned, so he's
well. He did tweet. He did say, sorry to all the
yeah.
FPL managers out there. Like he just said, keep the faith or something like that. So
I liked that.
Yeah.
And then finally, just on Man United as a team, basically defenders that could be on the watch list. They kept a clean sheet against Fulham. I thought they looked quite good in defence in the second half, pretty strong, and I think Martinez and Mazraoui, both at 4.5 million, should be on your watch list, because between game weeks 2 and 13 they only have 2 red fixtures on the ticker. One of them's Liverpool at home, one of them's Aston Villa away, and I think both look pretty nailed to start. Maybe Mazraoui if Shaw comes back, but I think they look good. United look strong if they sign Ugarte as well. I think they've just got a lot of strength and depth, and with the amount of players they've got, substitutions and rotation could come in as well, which obviously benefits defenders. And yeah, they limited Fulham, who we thought might be quite good this past game. So Fulham only had they had 6 shots in the box, which is the 3rd lowest of all teams. Didn't create any big chances, an XG of 0.4. So yeah, for a team who probably quite fancied, or you and I definitely need them to start being good from an attacking point of view from now. They were not good against United, and last season I don't think we would have said that. United gave up chances for fun, so yeah, point on them.
Yeah, interesting. I think people are maybe moving on them a bit prematurely, possibly. I think this Brighton game's not going to be a clean sheet.
No, I don't think so.
And then I think after that, who did you say it was?
They got Liverpool. Man United got Liverpool at home.
Yeah, so that's not looking
Maybe
like one.
not.
It's just probably just a bit too soon, in my opinion.
But after that, I think from Southampton at home, there's a good block of fixtures up until game week 13 there.
Yeah, I predicted that Mazraoui would start, and he did, and got 8 points. Like he looked like he was nailed on. Another bonus thing, like he looked like he was nailed on for 9 points, and it ended up getting taken away from him at the end, and just ended up on 8. Yeah,
he looked good.
Okay, so do you want to keep going on more stuff?
I don't really have too much else to say on United. I think the only interesting factor I picked up on, which wasn't worth speaking about in the other parts, was the most shots in the box this week. It wasn't Matoma, actually. This was right. It was Souček, which was unbelievable, really. Obviously played Aston Villa, and all of his chances, I think, were headed chances, which bodes well for Saliba and Gabriel. So Aston Villa conceded the second highest amount of headed chances this game week just gone. So yeah, I mean,
nice.
Like I told you earlier, and I saw in the chat, I think it was Davro said he's taken Kwanzaa out because of the price drop. He's got Lewis in. I was quite happy to hold Kwanzaa because, like I said at the start, I feel like if you've got the cover there's no real reason to get rid of him. Like sometimes you can have a 4 million defenders not starting, but there's no reason, no definite guarantee he's dropped yet. I've only got like 1 week. But on the flip side, I've got to work out who I'm going to play instead of him, and who better than an Arsenal defender.
I think the reason most people did it is because you've lost that 0.1. You can't get a 4.5 defender now.
Yeah,
you have to go down, and when are you going to get that extra money from the point rises?
Yeah,
it's probably going to be a while. So
that's true.
You might have to stick with him for a while now.
Yeah, but that's fine. I think that's, to be honest, that's fine. I feel that's a small thing. I feel like I'm not going to win or lose on pricing, but I'm not going to win anyway.
No,
but
true.
It's not. I'm not going to do awful or well. So yeah, that was probably all I had on the general notes really from this game week, because there's still quite a lot to get out of there.
Yeah, I've got a few more honourable mentions. Bergvall, a bit of a strange one to bring up, but 4.5 million for Tottenham. I was super impressed by him when he came on. I think he played like sort of an attacking 8-ish role. Got 0.2 XGI and 0.14 XA in 16 minutes, which is pretty good. He'll come on, it seems like, pretty much most games. He could start the next one, because I think Basuma's still suspended by Spurs themselves, and I think someone got injured. I can't remember. But yeah, he may end up starting the next game. So I think, to be honest, like if he's going to get most minutes and play attacking wise, he's probably the best value 4.5 million mid compared to other defensive ones that are going to get 90 minutes and not many points. And he could come on, get a couple of assists or something like that. So if you're looking for a 4.5 million mid, I think he's a good option. And then, just on the 4 million defenders, I suppose. A few of us are having troubles with obviously Barco. Zero Mins. I heard he was supposedly rested, but now we've got sort of information he's possibly on loan to Sevilla, which is certainly not ideal. I started with him. I'm certainly worried about that, but I'll probably just leave him rotting on the bench for a while until he's possibly close to a drop, and may end up going for just Johnson, who's the second guy. He was benched, but his replacement got a hamstring injury, so I think he should just be good to go from now on. Johnson at Ipswich 4.0. And then obviously Greaves, as we talked about earlier, 4.0. It looks a decent threat for set pieces. Face, however you say it, at Leicester, like they looked super suspect defensively. So I'm not really keen to go there, but like he is going to play 90 minutes at least. That's probably all you really need for sort of 4-0 defenders as just a backup in case you ever need them. That Harwood Bellis guy at Southampton, like again, same as Leicester, like they didn't look good defensively. They even conceded to 10 men. Obviously, they didn't concede much XGC and stuff like that, but they still conceded to 10 men, and I don't think they're going to get many clean sheets at all. And then, Mosquera at Wolves.
He's quite interesting.
I've just got Hansi down here, like, because he basically choked Havertz on the floor, and then he just got his finger up someone else's bum as well.
Weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, so he's Hansi, as I say, but 4 million. Wolves, I think from game week was it 9-ish? Like their fixtures look insane. So who knows if he's definitely nailed on? But I think he played 90 minutes, didn't he? But he looks like he's going to be sort of a bit of a worry for yellow cards, possibly reds. So I think Johnson, Greaves, they look like the best two, to be honest.
I'd agree. Like I think Johnson, I liked him in pre-season, but the fact that he didn't start makes you think he's not first choice in the difficult game. So I would probably be boring and pick Greaves. Well,
I feel like he now because like that his replacement got injured and he came on and did nothing wrong. Like why would he not keep his place now?
Yeah, okay, all right. But Ipswich are okay for fixtures now for quite a long time. So up until game week, basically after City, they don't play anyone, or they play Fulham, Brighton, Southampton, Villa, West Ham, Everton, Brentford, Leicester. Have I said Leicester twice? Maybe. Basically, they don't have any bad fixtures for between game weeks 3 and 10. And for 4.0, just someone to have on your bench, he seems
even beyond that. Spurs away if you had to, and 11 is not that bad. Man United at home 12, not that bad, and then they got another 4 really good fixtures. But we'll be looking at probably like wild card around there anyway, but we'll probably be putting one of those in. So
yeah, definitely. Like he stands out as a Kwanzaa replacement for when, but that's obviously not taking into account when Kwanzaa gets back into the team this weekend and scores a header.
Should we look at a couple questions quickly before? Yeah. There's Foden. So Alex Katawa said Foden for Son this week or Roll. Roll.
Really? Oh, okay. Depends how much you like Son, really, because I thought he looked quite poor.
Yeah, he did, but I think he was involved.
Yeah, he was. There was one clip I kept seeing where he got played into the box and he just had such a heavy touch. It made me think he was off it. Don't know. To be honest, I don't mind it. City have got good fixtures. Foden's obviously likely going to start this weekend. It's going to be I wonder what his ownership's like.
It's probably pretty low.
I'm going to guess 20%, just because auto select. 17. So yeah, he might. When he's obviously came on last weekend, don't see any reason why he wouldn't start this weekend. So
yeah, I think you probably picked Son for the first 2 fixtures. So in my opinion, like it's early days. Just stick with stick to your guns and then roll that transfer. Like more information is better than points, I think. Not points, but yeah, I don't know. Just go with your guy. That I don't think either option is bad. And then that Nadim Imrit said, yeah, triple captain Haaland thoughts. We did mention this earlier, but I would say it's a decent shout. I don't see why not. Like you said, the X points is really good. Ipswich's defensive numbers are really bad, but so yeah.
I think if you're going to do it on a single game week, this game week is the best one to do it, and I would understand anyone doing it. I'm just thinking that if there's a chance for a double game week with a top team in it, I would probably take that option. But like you said earlier as well, which is a good point, he's definitely going to start. There's no Champions League to worry about. He's pretty likely going to play 90 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's good. Chris just said some kind words. Thought we'd stop. We actually came back last season. We're only doing we're just doing streams now rather than recorded videos once a week. And then Alex in the chat said Grieve looks so threatening. So that's probably why I'd probably put him over Johnson. But maybe he's more chance of a headed goal than an open play one from Ipswich.
Yeah, it probably is, to be honest. Yeah.
All right, should we talk about our teams for this weekend?
Yep.
I've got yours up first here.
Okay, so I think in the screenshot it's got Hall starting.
It does.
But I think I will end up playing Sleeper and benching Hall. I think the sort of red card for Shah and the defensive frailties, I suppose, for Bournemouth, for Newcastle, are probably going to be highlighted. I think away to Bournemouth is not that good of a fixture for a defense that looked a bit shaky. So, I think I'll back the better team in Arsenal, even though they've got a tougher fixture on paper. And then, Porro's starting at the moment, so it may not end up mattering who I've benched first. But I think Porro is going to be absolutely fine. To be honest, he was walking on it. He didn't seem to have a boot at the end. Like, he was just limping. I think he was being a bit dramatic. And then so the same stuff. I bought Smith Rowe in. Because the Hall is benched. Smith Rowe in for the Leicester at home fixture. Hopefully, he plays more than 60 odd minutes this week. That would be good. But he had a couple of chances where he was like sort of through and got sort of sliced down. So hopefully he can just pick up a bit more. And then Salah captain at the moment. Vice will probably end up on Saka, I guess. It's on Isak at the moment, but Salah captain seems like the standout to me in my team.
Nice. I think looking at your team a bit like mine as well. Bruno and Smith Rowe already, I'm thinking, could be Mitoma and Mbuemo ahead of their good runs. Just trying to think about what players can fill in some positions there. I think that would be quite strong, really.
Yeah, and even Jota, like as far as his fixtures go and how long he's nailed for. Let's see with him. And then I need to possibly look at the Jefferson move out and try and get someone in. I think Bournemouth striker that they've just brought in, Evan Nilsson.
He was 6 million, wasn't he?
Yeah, 6 million. I'm absolutely shocked by because he was so good for Porto, so good. Obviously, it's a bit of a step up in terms of league, but like he was really good in the Champions League as well. He was scoring goals for fun for Porto. So, I'm quite high on him.
Is that the same guy we had in UCL last year? Must have been.
Should be, yeah. There was that Galeno, but then there was also that Evan Nilsson, and he was their starting striker, and he just was scoring goals all the time. So, shame for him to have to go to Bournemouth and play with who he's playing with, but I'm shocked they even got him because he seemed like he could be going to a much bigger team than Bournemouth. So,
and they got him done quickly as well, really. Not much fuss about
so he's probably going to screw over my Jefferson anyway. So I'm probably going to need to move that guy out. So, Semenyo obviously looked pretty good at Bournemouth too. So their fixtures look a bit rough,
a bit mixed.
They are a bit mixed, but 6 million can't really go too wrong.
I'll tell you what was a good question. I watched the FPL Wire show, which I like that one. And they asked a good question when they were talking about their teams. At the end, they said if you could have 2 changes now in hindsight to your game week 1 team, what would you not do? Yeah, I like those guys.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't have had Hall. I think I would have gone for the a bit more like rotation, better, like someone like Robinson, just because he's got a better fixture this week, and I would have been not a problem to just play him. And then probably just not done the 3 5-2. I think I would have got a forward like a Pedro or something, but then I probably would have had to get rid of Saliba in that point. But no, I think I was fairly happy apart from maybe Hall.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I think the team looks good for this week. Right, let's have a look here. See, I'm fairly similar again, really. The only thing I obviously don't have, like I mentioned quite a few times, is any Liverpool cover. Haaland armband makes sense. I'm going to go Solanke vice captain, but I don't think there's any chance he doesn't play. Probably put Kwanzaa first bench over Konsa. Don't know for Porro. Maybe I'll change that as it gets down to it, just because the games last season were close. Obviously Henderson goal like you, Porro, Robinson, Saliba, Fernandes. I'm looking forward to Eze against West Ham. I think he was unlucky, and West Ham were a bit mixed as well. Smith Rowe, he's already a bit like, I hope that I haven't been wrong about him. So he's got a couple games now where he got some good fixtures. So let's see. Yeah, I think the team looks all right.
How do you feel about Henderson now that Anderson's gone to
not so Fulham? Good, really.
It's like stock up for Robinson, but stock down for Henderson.
Yeah, I thought it would probably happen because they obviously came out before the deadline that they were talking to him. Definitely.
So surely they're not going to sell Gahey now, right?
Imagine it. There was another. It might have been Ornstein again today that said that they'd already made contact with a defender from Wolfsburg or something who Glasner had worked with before. Okay. So that kind of seemed like they obviously had a replacement lined up. So, we'll see. I don't think their defense is like elite anyway. I think they're quite open. No, I think Henderson's more a pick for the fixtures and the potential save points. So it was obviously disappointing when he played Flecken, who was like the other one I thought about all pre-season, and even after one game, Flecken's come out with like a ton of saves. So yeah, we'll see.
Brentford didn't keep clean sheet, did they?
No, it was.
No, I can't remember.
It was the own goal, Munoz.
That was it. Yes, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I'm already a bit like I was on the Haaland draft pretty much all pre-season, and I think it's only just because Salah's scored, I'm a bit like, oh, look what you could have had, kind of thing. But the only player I'm missing is, I think at the moment, is Trent, because like I said, I think Salah can cover. So, with a little bit of jiggery-pokery, Fernandes could be a Matoma or, I don't know, 7 million or less, and Porro could easily be Trent. So there's things I could do there. Just have to see, really. Yeah, we'll see how we are next week. I hadn't planned to make a transfer until the start of game week 4, anyway. So not making a transfer until late September. A bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah, with 2 next week, I'll be looking at how many minutes Jota gets. I'll be looking, Jota and Bruno are the ones I'll be sort of looking at for possibly moving on.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, should we wrap it up there?
Yeah.
Cool. QNTV says he's on 83 points. Very nice.
That's a good week.
Very nice week. Right. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back next Wednesday evening, same time, to see how we get on in game week 2. Let's get the sofas ready for Salah and Haaland.
I'm worried.
Phone notifications off.
Yes.
All right.